What's up, guys? I know that it's been a couple of days since I posted the last episode. Don't worry, we'll get a schedule and we'll be able to be more consistent. Now, first story that I want to talk about, it's likely going to come to the main channel tomorrow. It's going to come to the channel tomorrow. And so, this is why being on this channel can get you stories earlier than the other one. You remember that Joshua had given the prophecy and whatnot about the end of the rapture be happening on 24th. It didn't happen. They moved it over to the 7th of October. That passed. Today it's the 10th. I have bad news. Yesterday he came back and he posted something, and it sounded like there was no apology. But today, maybe an hour or so back, from the time when I'm recording this, he sounds like he's already ready to push the rapture ahead. I'm going to show you that right now. So again, my apologies again for not posting on time. You know, I saw that last time on the last episode, you guys were all over there. And so don't worry, we'll build a habit. You know, making videos has to be a habit. I have to build a habit for this channel and for the other one. I've thought of a way of actually doing it. And I think that way is actually going to work best. So I'm going to follow that line. I must just capture, you know, don't worry. I have it figured out in my head. And so that I can be a bit more consistent and not scrap videos. If you see me not posting, stories are going to the dustbin. Not posting, stories are going to the dustbin. So that's not helping. First of all, I need to give an update. Okay? You'll remember last time we spoke about a lot of stories on the last episode. And so if I was to go down here and actually open that episode that we did last, you'll remember. Let's pause it out here. First story we covered was about the game, right? I did check the game. I want to just give you a little bit of an update. I did check the game. And when I checked the game, it's like a game where they are, because I did say that I will come back and give you an update. They say that the game you play as a person who either sends people to hell for figuring out what kind of a person they are. So basically, it tells you a profile, and then it gives you certain items around, and you try and guess whether the person deserves to go to heaven or hell. So I did check a couple of gameplays and stuff like that, and that tends to be the rule. It tends to have different results. So basically, whatever decisions you make, whether you bless a person or send them to hell, it results into your world being worse or good. So that's what the game is about. So I was kind of like not clear when it said, if you remember that game thingy, God for a day. So basically, you are God in the sense that you're either blessing the people in their bad profiles. Like for instance, it gives the character of a influencer who's promoting the wrong kind of programs and stuff like that. And if you choose to bless her because she's somewhat good sometimes, what ends up happening is that the things she promotes actually become dangerous to people's health. That type of a thing. And so I did check it. That's what the game had inside there. The next update, on the previous episode which we did, you'll remember was from the story. Which one was it? Which was it? Yeah, this guy who was accusing Makazi of supposedly selling her soul. When you watch the video, he actually later on actually gets paid, and so then he keeps quiet. That looks to me like a manipulator. I made an entire episode on that story on the main channel, but that story did not end very well in my view. Of course, she gave him the money that he claimed he owed, but the ending of that story was very telling. Having to pay people to be quiet, that's crazy business. I would not get anywhere involved, because after that he was like, no, someone came on the stream and then called him out to say, hey, you should apologize, and he refused, and he even removed the lady on TikTok. So that story didn't end very well. It might look like it has a conclusion because Makazi and the dude were in good terms after, but the character that he is, it's a red flag for me. So I did make an episode on that, but I did base it on a different point, not necessarily that the selling your soul thing that they were talking about. All right, this takes me on to the next story that actually was waiting for an update. You remember I spoke about this episode where I mentioned that there was this lady who came to the Sand Twins, and I was not clear if she was the lady who was making people burn their certificates. She's not the one. This one, she's kind of a person who is she was kind of like looking for people to, how do we move forward, based on experience and all those type of things. I don't know, they call them psychologists or what, that type of a thing. So she was actually just there to say, we need to look out for this type of things so that these things don't actually affect people and stuff like that. So that's the episode. I didn't end up making an episode review on that. And also today the twins did announce it. I think yesterday they announced a new episode with their husbands talking about the rapture situation. That subject is definitely probably going to be on the channel tomorrow. So that's me announcing it here. It's definitely going to be on there because there were certain points that I did see that I definitely want to address on that. So that's who that lady was, just so that you have a little bit of an update. And then there was the story about this one. We did cover the whole story. I'm not going to cover it on the channel. It's a Ghana story, but I did think the story was interesting either way. Then we spoke about this one. And I did say they were claiming that the man might be cheating, whatnot. And I addressed the subject matter of their marriage and how weird of a position it is in because they stay in two different countries. Well, I forgot to show you the lady that I was actually describing when I said that the reason why people were actually making the speculation
praising him
were
for
because
the
of these pictures that came out. So these are the pictures, okay? You can see here, Kamal is standing with this lady. He says she is his spiritual daughter. It's not making sense. You can see them dressed the same. Now, in countries like Kenya and so forth, when people dress the same, it's more like couple signals and stuff like that, which is what exactly him and his wife used to do. So now he's doing it with a strange woman who people don't know. He's supposedly married to this lady. It's already sending all kinds of red flags. So I remember that I didn't show you the picture, which were actually sending people the red flags. Is why are they matching? On two different occasions, you can see the background change of season in the background. It's a bit awkward there. That's sending all kinds of red signals already. All right. So after that, the other subject matter that I said I might deserve an update concerning the last episode was what? Oh yeah, this gentleman here. This guy, you'll remember I mentioned, this guy was saying that the rapture, what. He then started to try and rebrand. He reposted the old episodes once the new date got up, kind of like updated. But right now, he's trying to reposition himself, and it's a very huge red flag. A lot of people, when they give false prophecies, they try to rebrand themselves as a teacher. So they teach or things that you might find in the Bible so that they sound legit. You have nothing to call them out for. Mike Winger did actually make a video where he was talking about how Benny Hinn actually does the same thing. When he gets into trouble, he advises other people who are in that same situation to use teaching biblical things because it deters the Christian. So he hasn't gotten any better. He's gotten worse. He's now just directly using church topics and all that. There was the subject matter of the Joshua addressing Somizi. I ended up not making an episode about that. I just kind of like skipped it. There's too many things. There was too many things happening at that time. And so those were the updates. Okay, there was a lot of updates, unfortunately. But now, as I did mention, there is now new updates that I want us to talk about. Joshua having a new date. Okay? This is crazy? It's exactly what we said. The problem is they don't ever repent, and when they don't repent, it's because it starts becoming a cult. We did speak about this thing. I made an entire episode. I think I've made a couple of episodes actually highlighting how that happens. Well, Joshua posted this yesterday, and if you check, he says, he was saying, for those who hope on the Lord will renew their strength, and they will soar like with wings, like the eagle. I'm like, okay, where's the apology? We're waiting for the apology. Nothing. He didn't give an apology. He's talking about soaring like what, and needing Jesus. Then today, rapture is still on. Now, 2 hours ago, you can see Joshua is now implying to those who see this, Jesus is coming. And while we figure out the day, oh my God. While we figure out the day, in the calendar, March, the 24th and 25th rapture days, stay on fire for Jesus in your heart. The days from now, you will be raptured. Yeah, he is. I was actually thinking, yeah, it looks like it's... Oh my God, Joshua. That's wild. Oh, this man will give you a headache. Guys, following this type of things gets very dangerous. That's going to be an episode tomorrow. We'll do an entire thing. I'll then show you that the other people who had already been saying it, he's only saying it today, but there's been other people who has already been saying it. Oh man. It never stops. It just keeps rolling forward and forward. He's already announcing another rapture date. Oh, anyways, I gotta keep it moving. We gotta keep it moving. Next story. I don't know if I will make an episode on this. So there is a story about Pastor Makamu. Remember, we deal with church-based stories mainly, or prophetic in nature. Pastor Makamu is under fire right now because of an episode that he did. Pastor Makamu, for those that are outside, Makamu, he is he sounds like a motivational speaker to me. He sounds like a motivational speaker. So this is Pastor Makamu right here. He is a television show personality and also a prosperity preacher. He has a funeral company thingy and whatnot. He's a businessman. Him and his wife manage that. There's been all kinds of stories around that. But now they had a show. They have a show on a TV channel called Moja Love. The show is called Riatsotela. It's a South African TV show. They try to resolve family issues and whatnot. And so there's this video that came out of this lady that she was not relenting. She was talking about how he was so ungodly in allowing so much damage on his show and stuff like that. There's been certain episodes where people have actually given him props, where the resolutions were really, but the show became very scandalous. Where even when it started, there was all kinds of things that were on the platform. The questions were, are these even real stories or are they faking them? But either ways, right now he has this drama that's happening because of a certain family that got on the show, and it looked like it was siding with the person who was actually the problem, instead of siding with the person because maybe they are friends or whatever the claim. And this is what this lady's video claims to say. As a pastor, you shouldn't be taking such sides if he's claiming to want to resolve a family issue. And I don't know if you saw the video. The video is on TikTok. I don't know. Does it show the name? Yeah, it shows the name. That's the name of the thingy, of the account right there. She is blasting the mandem because of that. and how the show turned out and panned out as a pastor, ought not to have that. Speaking of one of Makamu's friends, Pastor Mporo, there was a report that recently came. Pastor Mporo was a man who had a huge church. That church kind of died off, and then he had to start from scratch and stuff like that. And so now there was reports about 5 days back that he was actually about to lose his house or something. Now, I want to say, if you haven't noticed, this story has actually come out before. This story about the payment and whatnot. I might do this story on the main channel. I might, and I might not. I don't know. But the thing that I think I will go and verify first, it's if I've seen the story before. I think I have. But at this point, this channel will only announce the news. I'll then give you the further details. And I go back. I think he has had this issue before, and some people came to his rescue and paid off. So now, the reason why I also wanted to cover this here on the announcement, I don't know if I'll make a full episode, is because Mporo had claimed that he spent millions on his trial. He's been going to court over a situation with a battle with the family over child custody. And he went over to the church, to the school, holding machetes and a security guard with a gun with him. And they took kids who were with his daughter-in-law. The daughter-in-law, I think she passed away, and so they were in the foster care of their daughter-in-law's parents, basically. His mother-in-law. Is that how you say it? Yeah, the family of his grandson and so forth. And so he didn't have the right to go into school. In South Africa, a parent, and I think worldwide it is so, a child who has certain guardians, they may not allow another person who is not known to the school to take a child from a school, right? Only a person who is thingy. They do have problems like that in America right now. There are some states which are trying to amend that to a point where if there's an emergency, the person can just come and take. And it's a very wild thing. I did see Pastor Jax, Jack Hips, I think that's his name, trying to fight that particular whole thing. And so he did that. He went and he took a child who should be in the care of different parents, and he's been going through that lawsuit. Now, why am I talking about it? Is that back when that whole thing, when I do think that this story came out, he seemed to have had an issue already there. So I'm not sure. I'll give you an update. I think I've seen a story about him and his house before, but I'll have to check. I think if there is such a story, I probably covered it on the main channel. I'll check to see. And the reason why, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because he mentioned that he's lost millions in his lawsuit. And so you would think, okay, like if you've lost millions in your lawsuit and your residential is only 1.9 million, that doesn't match. Why would your house be getting auctioned? If you had millions and you didn't pay for your house, that just didn't make sense. But anyways, what do I know? By the way, after this whole rapture thing happened, there was actually a tornado thing that showed up in Jamestown. I forgot to show the video on the main channel. I did kind of hint at the story, but I didn't show the video. It doesn't last very long, and I don't know how far long from the time when it started to the time when they started recording this. I don't think there was much damage. They said there was a little bit of structural issues there, but it didn't really affect much. Now, also another reason why I wanted to actually even attach this, you see it's ending there and whatnot, is that Jamestown is starting to get a lot of these things. Okay, almost every year we have one or two of this tornado thingy, and it's always in that area. So I'm wondering, is Joburg getting into a territory of tornadoes? I'm just wondering. I'm saying this so that nobody come out here with prophecies, okay? I hope Nobody come out here saying, oh, I see a tornado prophecy, what. I'm saying it now. We have been having this pop up every once or twice a year. It just never become too dangerous, but this one did stick on the ground for a minute. So I'm wondering, is this going to be the new norm, or is this going to become worse? Because if it becomes worse, yo, Jesus. She missed it. Oh my goodness. So we'll see. But if anybody comes out there and says, hey, they have a prophecy, be careful. We know where they're probably getting that. Now, there was this video. I don't know if I'm going to make a video. I think I would. Maybe even, not even now, maybe probably later. There's this trend of these ladies who are dressed funny. You see, her dress ends here. She has some funny, weird thing. There's been these pictures or videos of ladies who are either in prayer or choir. Lately, the new videos, I'm not talking about old, newer videos of ladies just being completely dressed in a very funny fashion on the pulpit. I saw one with stockings, not just stockings, tights, shorts, tights. And I'm like, on the pulpit? That's what she's doing?